Welcome back once again, everybody, to WZ Sports Day, Utah 2024. Basketball is in the books, with Cyan taking a convincing 2-0 and increasing their lead in the series to 4-2. Neon Team and Red Team had a barn burner, with Neon Team just coming out on top and getting another 1-1 record on the board, which puts them at 3-3 overall. Red Team, with their second 0-2 in a row, drops to 2-4 overall in the standings, putting them in last place, and I also have a fractured foot now. So that will maybe not bode well for us moving forward, but you know what? I played on that fractured foot unknowingly for the rest of the event, so we'll see how that goes. With all that being said, it's time for volleyball. This is actually going to be the first time in WZ Sports Day history where we are featuring indoor volleyball. It will also be 4v4. We haven't seen 4v4 come into play either in WZ Sports Day. So we've got some interesting things to look forward to in this iteration of volleyball. And this will be a pivotal swing sport for all teams involved. Almost every game is getting to must-win territory for these teams. So we're just going to get right into the action with the first game of volleyball. That's going to be Cyan Team versus Red Team.
And hey guys, welcome to the volleyball VOD from the meetup. It's Eric here with a little special someone. I think they're what's your name?
No, I'm Ev.
Right. Okay. Cool. Just making
Right.
sure. Yeah. And we're starting off with Red and Cyan. Cyan being the dominating team in Sports Day as a whole so far, but also TK playing on the broken foot, still going for multiple hits in a row. Pretty impressive, but unfortunately not able to get that first hit over the net. And
just short.
So far I think Red Team hasn't been faring too well in Sports Day, huh?
Yeah, we've been sitting at 2-4, so not a great start for them at all.
No, not a great start for me either, I guess. Eric missing that one. A nice placement from Evan, finding a little bit of a gap.
All right.
Between the defenses of Cyan here. And yeah, I think speaking to the history of how volleyball has been, Evan is a little bit of a wild card, but I think definitely one of the understood strengths of Red Team, to be one of their stronger suits of a sport. Casper not able to quite knock that one over, but in terms of the rest of the Red Team, Eric has shown consistency across volleyball, Howler as well. TK's had some events where he's been off, but certainly on as well. And so I think if you're looking at this in comparison to the Cyan team, there's maybe a little bit more expectation on this Red Team to perform. That being said, TK playing on this is basically a broken foot, and we don't know it. Not quite able to walk that one over.
Right, yeah, he definitely took a beating during basketball, which we all saw, so it's just incredible to see him even playing as he is right now.
Ooh, Howler just
Beautiful
barely
over.
getting that one. Yeah, just with the perfect angle, able to get that one back over. Larry saves it. Oh, it's always a question mark. It's always a question mark. Will it be in? Will it be out? The answer was in that time, and
yeah. These lines were a little confusing here. You're going to notice that the in lines for the sides are going to be black, while the back line is the white. So.
Yes.
If anything looks confusing about being in and out here, that might be what will clear it up for you there.
Yeah.
Nice try with TK on that foot.
Yeah, we'll see how they manage movement for TK. I imagine they'll want to basically treat TK like half a player and basically assign where Evan is right now to move around for them. But that being said, Larry not quite able to knock it over the net. So the score is 5-3. Red to make up what was a 3-point deficit. Nice serve on TK's part, though.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Not able to quite return it. Larry misdirected it. I don't think Casper was quite expecting it, but I think TK will sit pretty comfortable here. This is probably a good position for someone with broken foot. Wally with the tap up to Anks. Nicely done. Gonna creep over the net. Once again do that, but is that out? Hard to say. Yeah, I think that barely made it in.
That was in.
Why do you think Evan missed that one? What was up with that?
Well, bad read, I would say.
Yeah, I think so too.
Probably the confusion with the lines, as I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, it did take a little bit of getting used to.
Nice
with
over.
A nice volley, looks like. Oh, okay, yeah. Larry unfortunately got the fist to it, but with the fist not quite being able to shape the direction of that ball, goes back to Wally. Wasn't able to quite reach for it.
Yeah, and Haller really put it away. So.
Oh my God, I love how you call Haller.
Haller.
Yeah, there you go. You're fixing it one by one. Gets the serve over. Haller's had an interesting history as a server who, in one of the first volleyball events, service ace probably half of the possible serves possible. Ooh, nice dip from Larry to be able to not only make it over, but get some real power to that and send it downwards. And that'll give Cyan the lead once again. So the lead has shrunk. We'll obviously want to keep an eye on serves. It's one of the sources of many lost points, but Casper will send that one back. Evan launches it to Eric, but I think Eric wasn't meaning to give it back to Evan. Evan able to make that up in time. Wally going for the powerful hit, but not able to quite make it inwards. I love how you're laughing at your partner of 4 years making an earnest effort. That's crazy.
I've seen better. You know? Oh, yeah, nice hit.
TK gets to the ground. Okay, Eric gets to the ground. What is happening?
Nice recovery again.
And
TK with the hit, even though with the foot, that's crazy.
That is crazy. To be able to jump like that, too. Okay, this is
Power.
quite the rally. Angst gets it over. TK gets it back over. It's a back and forth. Evan's going to decide to make a
rally so far.
great settle. It's going to be a settle for Haller. Or for Wally, but Eric able to get it over. Angst wasn't able to quite read that one, and my goodness, the rally finally ends.
Wow.
And well fought for on both sides.
Right. Looks like Eric to the line here.
Yeah. We'll see about his serves here. It looks like this one will maybe barely be in. Yeah, it looks like Casper will not be able to return it this time around.
Yep.
We're playing to 25 here, so just keep that in mind. These games can extend quite the bit, especially depending on the rally, but it looks like Aaron won't be able to land that one inside. We'll get a switch of play here. Also of note, for the first game, we only have one camera perspective. There it goes for the kick. That is totally legal, by the way, but isn't able to quite make it happen.
That was a beautiful setup, but you know.
No, they're just
that's all right. That's all right.
He makes most of those.
Well, yes.
Okay. Great. That was a powerful serve to be able to like even get that remotely. The direction was.
Yeah, I'd have to say Ev's footwork could have been a little better there, but it's all right.
Speaking of could be a little better, that serve doesn't quite make it in this time around.
Going wide.
And the ball will go back to Evan, who had serves that looked honestly pretty good. Will opt for something that, I don't know, does that make it in? It doesn't look like it does, just barely. So we'll see the control of play go back to Cyan's side for serves here. Larry did have a shaky serves first time, does end up converting this time, and Eric won't quite get it there. I wonder if Cyan would have been able to tell if that went in if Eric didn't like head pump as much as he did, because you know, sometimes it can be really tricky determining it, but either way, Cyan will get 2 points off that serve control before we go back to TK here, who was looking solid and consistent in serving before. Wally going for the power. Isn't quite able to deliver, but Evan has the opportunity to send it over, plays for the safely there. A lot of safe falling back and forth, barely makes it over. Oh my goodness, okay. Technically, hypothetically, I think they could have been able to play on from there. Somehow Haller kept it in play, but to expect TK to extend for that in normal conditions would have...
Maybe so.
Yeah. Even in normal conditions, it would have been a struggle, but looks like they're able to get it over just barely.
Right.
And ball goes back. 14-12. And Cyan doing really good. I don't think we would have pegged them to be in the lead, just given the track history of some of the individuals on their team in volleyball. But they're managing a lead. As soon as I say that, though, it looks like Haller and Co are getting some momentum going. Maybe some disagreement about how to go about movement. Yeah, it looks like Haller's trying to manage going back and forth, but it looks like that return is out.
Yep, it's pretty wide there.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, sometimes you really can't tell whose control it ought to be or should be. And unfortunately, at the last minute, Casper able to decide that. That was a little bit of a downside of the plan for Haller to be jumping from serving to in front of the net. It does leave a little bit of exposure if not properly covered, so Cyan will take advantage. Tie game now. Oh, barely. Just barely.
Yeah. That was a hard one to read, you could tell, just from its placement.
Yeah, when you get a really high arch on your shot, it makes a world of a difference in confusing your opponents. Doesn't quite make it over that time. And Eric up the plate. Great control on Wally's part. And a great hit as well.
Yep.
Haller not quite able to deliver there at an unfortunate angle. But job well done on Wally, not just for the hit to make the point happen, but also the control on setting it up for Larry there. Nice return on Haller's part. He sends it back. Nice loft over. Okay, we're playing those, but that's going to be out of bounds this time around. Yeah, a little bit of
advice from
yeah, I think at that kind of height, the foot needs to go down. The foot needs to go down at least a little bit.
The foot needs to be on the ground, actually. It is illegal to be in the air.
You know, we can play street rules a little bit, but it might be a little bit too much to have it at knee or above height, you know.
Right. Beautiful put away there.
Oh, barely. Anks. Oh, I'm sure maybe wishes he had that back, but yeah, I think wasn't able to quite get his hips down as much as he wanted to get the leverage needed for that one. Great serve. Wally takes the initiative there to jump on that, as that was a serve placed directly in the center, but unfortunately not able to quite get it to a teammate in time. Nice pop up there.
Yeah.
Oh, it just placed in the upper 90 of their side. You could tell that Eric wanted it, but thought better of it for a second, but in line.
Ooh.
Great reactions from Haller to be able to make that happen.
Yeah.
(20-18). Only 5 more points. You have to win by 2, of course, but will Cyan be able to keep up this momentum?
Yeah, they've been in the lead the entire game so far, so.
Right. Red looking for the leg up here. Casper. Oh, that discrepancy of fine margins on the net.
Playing on net is always a tricky thing.
Yeah. Oh, the power! My goodness, the form. Looking good from Ev here. Wow. Yeah, really on the back of that hit, it really changed the momentum of play that ended up making it difficult for Cyan to reposition.
Looks like Red is in the lead for just the moment.
Yeah, 22-20. It's really turned around all of a sudden, and now they're in a commanding position. If they win this, it's a crucial point. Oh, but it's not going to go quite in their way, and I think you can tell that TK knows the potential missed opportunity there to really start taking control. Probably getting a little sweaty now. Every little movement mattering here.
Yep. Pressure's on here.
Great hit from Wally. Larry, can you deliver? Yes, he does. keeps it in. Oh, that's a great hit from Haller, but Wally's there to back it up, and my goodness, we got a tied game here.
Whew. Getting anxious just watching this.
Yeah. Oh, that's out. I think that's barely out. All makes its way to the tripod, but yeah.
Yep. Been a close game the entire time.
It really has. Yeah, we've seen volleyball games kind of dive from really big point gaps to being close sometimes, but this is certainly like an extremely close start. Oh, not quite able to make it over, and 24-22.
Right, match point here.
Now he's going to go for that play to move up front. Wally sent it to Angst, and Angst makes it over. Oh, not quite able to make it. Evan's leg not looking too good on that one.
Looks like he's struggling in the corner over there.
Yeah. Why are you laughing? What?
Angst with a great hit, though.
I'm concerned, personally.
It's almost like I know that pain all too well.
24-23. Oh, Casper! Unfortunately, not able to get it over, and Red gets away with it, and I'm sure they're happy with that one. 25-23. And we do see stats across the board here, but job well done from the red side to be able to convert, and now the standings are looking a little bit more in their favor, and even now we have Cyan versus Neon. I will never understand the thinking behind naming their green team Neon, but sure, it is a 1-0 start for them. And Doobie with a strong serve. Get things going. I think that will be over, and they are able to tell that apart. So this game we introduce 2 cameras, and I think this one might be our primary one. So get things started. Casper with a nice layup for Larry. Gets it over directly to Brawley, though, so they have a lot of convenience in being able to set the tone here. King, a little bit of power on that one, but not quite much. Oh, Angst with a little bit of the flick on the ball is just enough to be able to make Brawley question. Does it go in? Does it not?
Right. Really good. Playing at your feet is always a really hard thing to do most of the time.
Yes. Ooh, barely makes it in.
There he goes.
Not quite able to have legs on the ground in front of that one in the center.
Right.
Maybe some discussion on positions here.
Seems like it. Probably to serve here.
Yeah, going for the center point in between all 4 seems to be ideal if you can aim it. And yeah, Brawley can aim it. Ah! Okay. Yep. No, it's so.
Yeah, you could just see how close that was to the net.
Yeah.
Especially from this angle here.
Right. Brawley has been one of the best, if not the best, volleyball player over time. So,
I've heard.
To have to drop that shot on characteristic over at the front. 4-3 for quote unquote Neon right now. Very up for serve. Nicely makes it over, just barely. That turn from Wally will make it. Who stuck out to you on Cyan's team in the first game as we get into this one?
I definitely have to probably say Wally there.
Yeah.
I was thinking, a lot of his hits were looking really good, especially from the back line.
Yeah. Would agree. Think
Exhibit A right there.
Yeah, Jesus.
Just showing his power even from the back. Thanks to serve here.
Yeah.
Another tight game so far.
Well, if King might have had a collision
King jump
there.
into the net.
Yeah. But they get away with the point, I guess, for now. I am curious to see how King does in his last performance at LA. He really dominated in the 3v3 volleyball they had. Ooh, that ball just barely making it in. Great serve on Sydney's part. He has done a good job so far, but won't quite make that serve over. But yeah, King had a stellar performance, a standout performance in the team with Brawley and Haller. Having a formation that really played around him, he would always rush up to the net, so I'm curious to see how he does and how he's able to maybe use his height in this one. But so far, Neon with the 7-5 lead. Nice tap!
That, right away.
To do it backwards, too, and with your fist, I feel like is...
Definitely a risky choice, but paid
yeah,
off.
Yeah. Gets on it. Does that make it in? I think that does, yeah. Just barely. So far, yeah, King having a stellar performance. Being able to direct his shots both in accuracy and in power real well here. Having said that, one won't make it over. Wally up to plate. We've seen his serves be pretty lethal before. In this one, we'll have a little bit too much juice in it. He does a good job in calling that with her eyes there. And now we're back to Brawley, who opts for the simple serve. You know,
maybe a little too simple.
A little too simple, yeah. And it's so funny seeing him serve underhand here. A little bit of a spoiler. We played some volleyball after this, and he only overhand served after in the afters. And
ooh, wow, that was a nice placement. Sorry.
No, you're good. And just had immaculate power in accuracy. But we'll see how his serve evolves. Play goes on. Sydney with the return here.
Nice dig.
That's a great
setup
for Wally.
Yep.
Oh, not quite able to get to it.
Yep. King with the hands.
Yeah. I do think Larry could leverage, like, bending his hips a little bit more. That's what I've noticed is sometimes the ball will get a little bit low and we're not seeing him get quite low. I think if he were to be maybe a little bit more conscious of that, you get a little bit of a better hand on some of these balls. But for now, Neon with the slight lead here. I have really enjoyed seeing Anx's layups or sets for people. He'll help there with the point for Cyan getting control again.
Yeah, Anx has been doing a pretty good job so far, especially keeping it close to the net, which is where you want it, especially if you want someone to return it with a hit.
Yep.
That was a great placement and put away there.
There was.
So far, Anx has also been serving pretty consistently.
He wanted to be so agile so bad, but unfortunately not able to quite do it.
Gotta either let it go out or hit it with your hands.
Yeah. Not able to do the mathematics on that one. And Neon not able to do the mathematics on picking up that ball.
Line out. Here's line in.
A little bit of confusion if it was in or not. But actually, they did do mathematics. It was out, so Sydney will get the serve and let's make it over to Larry. A little bit of confusion on who gets it, but Larry not quite able to make up in time. Not an ideal set for him.
Sydney to the net, so we're sending it back over.
Yeah, Cyan's really keeping this competitive, and for having Chris and Brawley on Neon's team from the winning team of the last sports day in both volleyball and in general, and do be a known threat as well. It's impressive for sure. Not quite the set that Larry maybe wanted. As soon as we say Cyan's keeping it close, maybe jinxing it a little bit. He gets the serve over. Nice set from Wally. And another great set from Anx. Ooh, that's going to be hard to control, but Sydney does. Sydney has. It's a great try at controlling it, but unfortunately, yeah, really difficult to make it precise.
Those deep hits are always hard to read, especially when you're online like that.
Yeah, and Wally's serving really seeming to come up clutch here for the green team. Oh, and then just barely makes it over. We got a tie game off those 3 serves alone.
His height is definitely playing a factor in how those serves are coming over, which working excellently to his advantage here.
For real.
He's hitting right in that spot, and it looks like he's got some front spin on the ball.
Oh, that placement, that recovery from Wally to go down low. Casper does get it back over, though. A little bit of back and forth between our two teams here. Larry, can you set it right? Yes, you can.
Wow, nice touch.
And you hear the communication coming out a little bit more from these teams, understanding that they have to give it their all for this one. Does it make it in? Wow. Yes, it does, I think. Does it make it in? A little bit of discussion. Oh yeah, this is a contentious one, especially after a rally like that. But I think that does make it in. Wow.
Yeah, Cyan's probably not too happy with Evan on that one call.
That's a great rally. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was a long rally. It was hard to call.
Yeah, and especially
this angle.
Yeah, right. When the peanut gallery is just on the side from this angle, it's like, yeah, they're just gonna see it from way over here. Nice set for King, and barely getting the tap over, just so ideally so. Great on, yeah. That's just a great set from Brawley to be able to give King the opportunity to have all that leverage, setting that ball downwards makes it so difficult, nearly impossible for Cyan to respond. So with that, Neon will take the lead just by a point. Casper, not able to quite get to it. Point for Neon.
Ooh, nice try by Sid. Tough shot.
Certainly a tough shot, yeah.
Get up.
Yeah.
It's always hard. They've got great placement though.
Yeah. That was a little bit, it was pretty far away from Doobie, but he was the closest one to it. Had to get to it, just a little difficult. Oh, great tap from Angst there. Great backward thing for Brawley, but Larry not quite able to make it happen. 19-18, another close game. Jeez.
Someone should record our game from here, because having a pause from there is like, you can't really see anything. Yeah.
Thank you, Ira, for the outward commentary here.
Yeah.
Oh, Brawley there to respond in one of the very few blocks we've seen. Does that go out? I think that does, yeah. Right call on Wally's part. Really wants to make the best of it. You see him warming up that up, but ooh, gets it over.
Get over by Broly.
No, not quite able. Gets it over, but not quite in the box, and Cyan has just barely managed to tie it up. And now I'm really curious to see if Hank is able to keep his nerves with serving. He is able to, yeah. Oh, but that perfect placement again. That height, it's
great low step there.
Yeah.
King's got all that arm span, so it's perfect.
Great serve from Sydney. Great set.
Yep.
So backwards is so challenging sometimes. Another light touch as well from Brawley. I think that might have been going out, but they keep it alive. That is going on for sure, and it's so tough for Angst there, but it seemed like he would have had he was going to be able to redirect it in, but doesn't quite make it in. Cyan down by 2 points, and a little bit too much juice on that.
Just a little.
God, that zoom in is so mean. Oh my goodness, and just barely not making it over, and so quickly we've gone from a game just neck and neck, just all of a sudden 24-20 on match point for Neon.
Score.
Let's see if Sydney can put it away here.
Yeah. Yes, makes it over. Great to get it much over. Oh, was that in though? I think that was out.
That was out.
Yep.
And if anything, King was on net too much. That would have been called for a touch.
Yeah. Really a great job on Angst's part, seeing Brawley come up to him and arching his shot deliberately, far more than he's arched shots before to get it over. spray call on them, and that'll wrap it up. Larry not quite able to make that work. But there we see the stats there. As King with an incredibly high kill percentage there to really stand out from the crowd.
Right.
And we have Neon in the lead right now as we get set. And we move on to Game 3 between Red and Neon. Probably, I mean, from what we're seeing, yeah, it's a 2 winning team, so we'll see how they fare, but first serve won't quite make it over.
Right into the net here.
Neon with a start.
Yes, sir.
Great setup from Sydney. King's been lethal, but won't be that time. I need to warm up for this game. It's 1-1 all of a sudden. And I'll TK follow up now with Red Foot. Really still injured.
What we're seeing is TK being very consistent from the line here.
Yeah, super consistent. Makes it in. I think a little bit of hesitation from Doobie, if not being quite sure if that was going to be in, but... And even just a little bit of hesitation being lethal there. Yeah.
Should have communicated between those two.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of misunderstanding of where TK might have been in respective to where Evan was.
Can't expect TK to be running back at that point.
Yeah. Brawley with an incredible
Beautiful
read once
block.
again. Yeah, I think Haller's going to have to get very used to the fact that Brawley is very willing to jump up and contest those. They redirect. A little bit of miscommunication on who got that one. Do make it over, though. Evan decides to play it safe. And Chris going for an aggressive play, but won't make it over. Tied 3-3. Immediate return from King's part, and that will do it. Make it over. And Sydney, I think, in the better seat to have responded to that one, but didn't quite pick up on it. Simple return from King, not quite in the best position. Haller redirects it to King, maybe learning from his past serve, and great hit from King there directly into the chest or even stomach of TK. Admirably tried to leave up for it, but not quite able to react.
Yeah, braver than most with that foot.
Yeah, that
There.
setup needs to be a little bit more precise if it's going to TK. Serve will go out. So seeing some inconsistency in serves to start us off here between these two teams. Like it's Irish chance at bats. It's deep and horizontal. Will get returned. It seemed
Not
hard.
quite over there.
Yeah, it seemed hard for both of them to kind of reach to it, even though they both seemed to try. So
Yeah, Neon likes to play pretty quick and dirty at the net, so I can see sometimes not quite making it over being something if they're trying to be playing the ball fast.
yeah, a good serve on there. So, ooh, okay.
Very tight.
Just barely not able to make that over, King. And okay, a 3-point lead now for Red all of a sudden. See if they're able to keep this momentum going. The answer is immediately no. Head getting a little inflated there. Another serve will be dropped, and so we'll make the loop back around to Evan, who surely wants to do over at from their first attempt. Gets it over in great fashion, but yeah, I think that serve was a great start to make it really difficult for King to set it back to his teammates. Gets it back over. Haller, extending really well there to make it happen, but
yeah, just hard positioning there, especially when you're trying to play cross-court like that.
it is 11-6. I think this is the largest lead we've seen all day. Make that 12-6.
Just getting wider today.
Yeah. Looking pretty good for Red Team. They did start this being
Wait, can we turn that off
the most down
Okay.
in sports. They certainly needing this as the sports after this. What, including, I mean, flag football for the most. Flag football. Was there another one?
What do we have? No, just flag football after this. This will be our last.
Yeah. I think the other two teams projected to do really good as Red Team. Their status of a quarterback is kind of unknown. So this being a pretty important game for them, 6-13 at this point. Evan gets the gets it barely over. Nice.
Yeah, that was a tough one at the net, but Haller looked like he was able to put it away right at the end there.
Yeah. Another reliable serve coming there from Evan. King gets it down though. King gets it over again. And again. Barely able to make it over. Evan keeps it in play. I think that was going to go out.
Was for sure going to be out there.
And so Neon will get control of it. This is a 7-point lead. Not quite able to get that. Good serve on Doobie's part.
Yep, immediately giving us this return here.
Good job on Haller to get that over. TK, even though not having maybe the greatest angle, is able to hit that really hard. Makes it difficult for Neon to get a good hit back over. Letting Haller get a good hit back on over. Great set there. Seemingly for both of them at the same time. King. Okay, yeah, they're barely able to make it work. Tika gets it immediately over to try to throw them off, but won't work. Tika gets it back over again immediately. Oh, and the foot gets it, and Haller diving to the ground to make sure that happens.
And they were able to take it.
Yeah.
Just barely. Haller's elbow seems to be a little bit of a concern, but it's for a good cause. My goodness. So they maintain
rally for today.
Yeah. So they maintain their grip on the lead right now, and I think it's TK's turn as he hopples over. But Haller, whether he wants to or not, has to get back in the game here. So thankfully, not forced to play it. It looks like a little bit of a set gone awry for Green, and now the lead is
a little miscommunication.
Yeah. The lead is now 9 points. Kinda crazy. Larry having an intimate moment with the net, but yeah, you're saying?
Sometimes just loving the net a little too much.
Yeah.
Just not quite to the foot there.
Yeah.
You can see it back to Neon here.
Yeah, the fist wasn't
Evan
quite
lamenting
it.
in the back there. It's just they're gonna do it every time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's the ideal play. And yeah, Eric will decide to get back to the open palms here. Oh my goodness, King. Power into the delivery being huge. TK not quite able to make it over. Will they be able to get it back? Yes! Okay, yeah, they keep it in. I think that could have been line. Rally stays alive. Sydney not able to quite get to it. Wow, what a save point on Red's behalf.
Again, just an excellent rally here today. We've seen some longer plays, which is really good to see.
Yeah.
Makes for an interesting game, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, almost basically a fake out from King's behalf. He realizes midway through he doesn't need to go for that, and that will absolutely throw TK off, who isn't quite as mobile in that situation.
Absolutely.
Wow, great reaction play. King not able to quite convert on it. It is still 19-12, so 6 points separating the red team from the win here.
Out.
That's out? That's crazy. Anyway, all right, I guess it's Neon's ball. That's crazy. That's crazy if true. Anyway.
Looks pretty close, but
and that's it. Okay, yeah, I bet. Yeah, okay, sure. I think I just saw the same exact serve 2 times in a row, and we called it differently. That's crazy. 14-19. Won't make it over this time, so at least 6-point lead nonetheless. Evan up to serve, who has looked consistent so far. He does get it over in a great position, too.
Looks like we're putting in some float serves here. Trying to limit as much of the spin on the ball as possible so you can try to land it right where you want it.
Yeah.
Not looking hot there.
Yeah, that seems to roll off in a way that's obviously not desired. Not according to plan. Return is a little bit more according to plan. Great job to get on down there from Evan. Ah, no, that little bit just rolls off that fist. You can tell he wanted some power and direction downwards there, but this isn't able to convert. A little bit of a maybe confusion on who was going to get that. Confusion there at the front too, but they make it happen. He gets back over. Always sets it back. A little bit more relaxed plays. King in a position to really knock it down. TK seems to have saved it, but doesn't quite get the set, and another huge play from King. Now just a 4-point gap all of a sudden.
Too much power on that return there.
Yeah, I think a little bit of confusion as to what would be the best way to return it there at the last second. Getting on low, he does. No way! Oh, they barely don't make it over.
Red's looking pretty tired here. Neon has closed this gap very quickly.
Yeah. Great return. Barely makes it over. Okay, they make it back. Okay, sure, they'll take it.
Right.
A much-needed point from Red Team, who seem to be sliding on downwards to no control.
Right.
Barely able to get that one as Howler, and I think that makes it in. Oh my goodness.
That would be in. Let's go.
2 points that barely Red is able to get over.
Right.
And maybe a sigh of relief.
Confusion on the Neon side there.
Yeah. The immediate return, though. Lethal. Another strong hit from...
Oh, really?
I'm confused as to why he went for the foot there. Oh, I think it hit the ceiling. Okay.
It hit the ceiling, yeah.
So Neon having to be really considerate here with how they want to go about hitting this one. I think they're going to change their positions here. Yeah, Brawley going up to the front. And wow, a great hit. That call being so huge, actually.
Yep. Evan hit a little too close to the net there.
Gets the angle needed. Impressive job from TK. Great return. Could have been maybe a little bit more to the right where King was.
Incredible over.
Aye. Just barely.
Yeah, we're starting to see Neon rally here. They're looking pretty tight.
All of a sudden a 1-point game. Anyone's game at this point. TK gets barely over, and a little bit of that miscommunication and frustration coming out, and now it's a tie game from what was a 9-point deficit. Certainly the biggest comeback we've seen in volleyball ever. Ah, the set not enough. And I would argue that set not being enough even started with Arik not even getting the ideal set to Haller there. 24-23, this could be it. Gets it over barely. Sydney able to return. Wow, what a return.
Nice one by TK.
And that is perfect from Chris. What a comeback from Neon.
Wow.
I can't believe. The frustration was palpable after the game here from Red Team, and unfortunately for them, they will not be able to convert for Neon. Wow, what a comeback for them. And there are so many potential plays of the game, but surely going over to Neon there in what was a tightly contested game, and now they will take the lead in Sports Day.
Huge shout out to Eirik and Evan for the commentary. They did a great job, and I highly appreciate their assistance on this production. With that being said, these are the volleyball stats, and these are the volleyball leaderboards, where you can see where everyone's stacked up in that variety of stats. And now for your Player of the Game awards. Always pretty tough choosing the Player of the Game awards for volleyball specifically, I think. But with that being said, we've got a mixed bag here. Haller getting on the board with his first Player of the Game award of Utah 2024 here in volleyball for that Red versus Cyan performance. I really think Haller just did a little bit of everything in this game. He was really solid on attack in the front lines. He was receiving the ball well, only just those 4 receives because he was playing front line, but he didn't make mistakes when it came to receiving the ball. He would just send that ball back over a lot of the time. And the serving was really great too. 8 serves, half of them for service aces and no service errors. I mean, that's really, really excellent. So I think this was a full team effort for Red in this game, I think Evan was just really great all day in volleyball. Eirik with some really clutch returns of hard hits from Wally in this game, and crippled TK doing as much contribution as he can as well. Really a full team effort, but I think Haller deserves the Player of the Game award for Game 1. Then for Game 2, I went with King. King and Brawley, that devastating combination we've seen the last 2 Sports Day events now in volleyball. They really are just stealing the show every time that they are on the court, and I think that definitely shown through in this game. King with 9 kills and a 69% kill percentage. That's very impressive. Also a good receive rate as well. He was just really integral to their win in this game. The offense runs through King. And you know who else the offense runs through? That's Brawley, who I just mentioned before. He gets the Player of the Game award for Game 3. I think Brawley was great in both games, but really took over in this game with really impressive ratios all over the board. No service errors in 10 serves is really big. That's a really underrated skill in this game. And I think setting is not something that's really reflected in the stats, but setting is something that Brawley does immaculately. I think he's the best setter in the clan. And I think that it's only natural to give one Player of the Game each to King and Brawley for Neon teams. 2 wins in volleyball today. And another little fun fact that actually wasn't intentional at all, these 3 Player of the Game awards, Haller, King, and Brawley, that is actually the black team from LA Sports Day who were really dominant in volleyball, so perhaps no coincidence there, as those will be your Player of the Game awards for volleyball in Utah 2024. But that is going to do it for this episode of WZ Sports Day. Honestly, a really crazy set of games we saw in volleyball. That is definitely the closest overall set of games we have ever seen in WZ Sports Day volleyball, potentially in any WZ Sports Day sport, to be honest. All 3 of those games just really coming down to the wire. Kudos to Neon Team on their really impressive comeback. Definitely one of the best comebacks we've ever seen in WZ Sports Day history to win that Game 3 against Red Team and secure a 2-0 finish in volleyball. They jump into first at 5-3 as a direct result. Cyan Team, after getting onto a little bit of a hot streak with 4 straight wins, they suffer another 0-2, unfortunately, which evens them out to 4-4. They are still in the hunt, just 1 game back. And then Red Team, they stop the losing streak. They get one back on the board, but unfortunately they followed up with that really tough loss to Neon where they were in the driver's seat, but they couldn't finish the job. They now sit at 3-5. Mathematically, though, it is still anyone's game. Red team, at best, will be looking to force a tie if they can 2-0, while Cyan goes 1-1 and Neon 0-2. It's Neon's sports day to lose, but ultimately Cyan will have their fate in their hands because if they go 2-0, they at the very least would force a tie with Neon team in first. And that's all going to come to a close in the final sport of WZ Sports Day, which will be flag football. Its first time being in Sports Day in 2.5 years. Brawley 05 will be on the comms. It is not yet clear who he will be joined by. You'll just have to wait and see on that front, but it should be a good one. Stay tuned for next week for the finale of WZ Sports Day, barring any potential tiebreakers, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching.